Alright y'all, so this morning what we're going to do is we are going to change the oil on a little TTR50. Last I think I left off, bike was still pretty dirty, but we did go ahead and get it cleaned up. Cleaned up pretty good. This morning I'm just warming it up so that way the oil will flow out a little easier. That's going to be our next project. Well, I think it's an 05 Honda TTR50E. I'll fix that up, teach the wife how to ride. Yeah, little thing runs pretty good. So we're gonna get the oil changed. If I have time today, I might end up trying to go ahead and replace the tires and inner tubes. So yeah, let's get started. So one thing I did decide to do before laying the bike over on its side, it is pretty low to the ground, and the drain plug is right there. And as you can see, my drain pan barely fits under there. So what I'm going to end up having to do is lay it over on its side to get to that drain plug. But what I did want to do to start off was I did drain the carburetor bowl, just so that way when we lay it on that side, we don't have any issues with fuel. Alright, so in order to drain, I believe this drain plug is a 17, which it is. So we're going to get a ratchet here, and we are going to break that loose. Get the drain pan over here. Get that kickstand out of the way. Go ahead and take the plug out. And let it drain out. Well, it's actually pretty dark. Looks very thin. Well, we're just gonna let that drain. Hopefully my drain pan isn't too full. And what I'm gonna do is just lay it over. Hopefully it doesn't crush my pan. Alright, so we've drained all the oil out. It's something that I like to do. I don't know if a lot of people do it. But here goes your dipstick and your fill plug. Set that to the side. One thing that I like to do is, with the drain plug still out, I like to pour a little bit of oil in it just to rinse anything out of the bottom. This is what I've been using since I recently got into the hobby. I've been running this in my four-wheelers, my dirt bikes, with no issues, and it's not expensive. So we're just gonna crankcase. Takes just under a whole quart, so we're just gonna pour a little bit of this in there and let it run out. Like I said, it takes, I think, 800 cubic centimeters. I think that's the right terminology for that. And a quart is 946 milliliters. I'll have to look up the conversion, but I think 800. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to confuse myself. But we're going to do some math. We're just going to pour a little bit of that in there and let it drain out. And then we'll lay the bike back over. Try to put that drain plug back in it. I guess I can leave that. So I got my stand on the other side just so I can have some way to tilt it and it not be completely on its side. Just tilt it over a little further. I do still see some oil trying to run out. I think that's good. Alright, so now let's put the drain plug back in it. Actually gonna wipe it off. I hope I'm still in the camera shot. Also, hopefully I'm not blocking the bike or anything that I'm doing. Let's snug that up. Let's get this drain plug pan out of the way. Alright, so I did just some conversions, and 1 quart is 946 milliliters. Crankcase called for 800 cubic centimeters, and that converts to 800 milliliters. So what I ended up doing was pouring 146 milliliters into the crankcase with the drain plug out. This isn't quite level, but we got right at 800 milliliters. So we're going to use the remainder to fill the crankcase. And in my experience, I'm new to the dirt bikes and four-wheelers, but maintenance is pretty easy. It's just a matter of getting out and doing it. I like to call it tinkering, so that's what my wife calls it. She's always asking me, so are you going to tinker today? But now that we got that in, we can pull this out. Try not to make a mess. Set that aside. I'm going to wipe out that real quick. I have to get used to trying to hold the camera and making sure that what I'm doing is in the shot. actually gonna have to set the camera down so that way I can wipe that off. As you can see, it's got a little dirt and debris on it. Alright, so we got the dipstick cleaned off. So checking the oil level now. I'm actually just gonna stand the bike straight up. And when you check it, you don't tighten up the dipstick. You just set it down in there, pull it out, and we are right where we need to be. However, if we do tighten it up and pull it back out, we'll probably be at the very top. Which we are. Tighten that up. Wipe that off. And that is how you change the oil on a TTR50.